And Pa, we've been sharing a lot. Our tech guys have been telling us there's a follow-up question to what we've been
I
talking
wonder
about.
what that is.
Yeah. Let's give that space and time. So what is? So in relation to previous topic, now battling fatigue, how to handle both myself and my team.
Okay.
So let's add on to this. We've said some stuff.
Yeah.
Right? How would we wanna share? What do you want to share with this, Pao?
Well, I think there are many ways that we can approach this or look at it. So the way I'm reading this is a person who leads a team, is in a leadership position, maybe frontline leadership, regardless. So this person probably feels a sense of responsibility and accountability for a number of people reporting to this person. And if I were to paint a picture, relating it to the original question, so it's been a year, there's that sense of pent-up, built-up frustration and helplessness. And at the same time, this person is probably feeling, as this person puts it, fatigue, maybe a sense of weariness also. And at the same time, there's that additional layer of, I'm tired, and so is my team. And what do I do about it? So going back to our previous answer, I think it's first important to acknowledge what we're feeling. Now, since we already addressed that earlier, let's assume that it's happened. Let's assume that we've acknowledged, I'm feeling helpless, I'm feeling frustrated. I think the next step is also to acknowledge what our team might be feeling. And the recommendation I'd have here is not to assume. Not to say, they must be feeling bad. Kung ako di sila rin. Actually, I'll relate it to something that one of our colleagues, Eric Picard, talked about relatively recently. And there he talked about having one-on-one conversations with your team members. So for those of you who might be interested, we'll get back to that. But we do have sessions where we share meaningful insights. So Eric Picard shared how he recommended having meaningful one-on-one conversations with team members. And now the one-on-one is sort of a coaching session without necessarily having to be a licensed coach. But it might be, let's say I were to imagine myself in the place of this person, and Lippy is one of my team members. I might say, Lippy, would you mind having a 30-minute conversation? I'd just like to check in with you. And if it will help, I would suggest putting it up front and saying, I'm not going to check up on your projects. I'm not going to ask you about your deliverables. It's just a check-in. I want to understand how you are. Now, the first intent of this conversation would be quite sincerely to check in on the person. But one perhaps unintended effect, I think, would be that conversations benefit both sides. If the conversation is open enough, if the conversation is honest enough, and if it's not about going after deliverables for those 30 minutes, if it's really a human interaction, then really I think what you will find is that the conversation may very well benefit the both of you. And rather than feeling I'm fatigued, I'm helpless, I'm frustrated, the feelings may not go away entirely, but it may actually feel like, you know what? We share something here. There's that sense of connection. There's that sense of understanding. And that alone may give you maybe a boost of energy, maybe a boost of inspiration even. And that may be a good start. Just to share, Lippy mentioned earlier that we're both coaches. What I've found through the few coaching conversations I've had is that in most coaching conversations, I actually walk away with having taken something from it as well, even if the person approached me to have a conversation that would help them. So I think that's how I put it. Sorry, long first answer, but that's how I would put it.
So in one sentence, Pao, what is the long first answer?
In one sentence, what I would say is acknowledge the feeling and then acknowledge that the team members may also have similar feelings, but don't assume. Have conversations with them. Have meaningful human conversations with them.
Yeah. My long sentence for this is be open to asking for help.
True. Yes.
Because I'm hearing you battling it, right? So what are you also doing to get help yourself? If you need to talk to someone, if you need to get some time off for yourself, if you need to, have those check-ins with the team, and at the end of the day, also involve them. Because this is not just about you handling them, right? It's also about you leading them. And so So one way you might want to do it, right? I mean, maybe not exactly, is you can have those one-on-ones and then, have a team meeting about it, and this is what people are feeling, and then you can talk about, as a team, where are we? What's the reality? How are we? What's the possibility to support each other? Just to articulate what people need and what people can contribute
Right.
as well, right? So and that's also asking for help, because that's not you as the leader trying to provide everything for your team.
Absolutely.
Right? It's you gotta lead your team to learn how to provide what they need for themselves. So at the end of the day, that's my long sentence. Be open to asking from help, whether that could be inside of your organization, could be outside, could be someone someone you can trust, and someone you can just talk to and just share how you're feeling and what's been happening. Maybe that might help you. So yeah, and it's a unique situation.
Mhm.
We're just sharing, what we feel has worked for us and what we've seen. But this is every time I hear something like this is a unique situation, because it's you. You will know best how to be able to battle your fatigue and handle yourself, and
Right.
then begin to handle your team, whatever handle means.
And I think one of the things here, and I'll go back, is that um, approach this as a human experience rather than focusing on I'm the boss, I'm the leader, and they are my team members. Yes, there is that aspect, and it will not go away. But my perspective, at least, is we are all human beings first. So if we can have that shared experience, as Lippy said, ask for help. Don't assume that you have to solve the problems for everyone. Just have that conversation and say, you know what? And one of the things that helped me, and I'll share here from my own experience, I do lead a team myself. And one of the things that's helped me, and it doesn't mean it's always perfect. There will be hard days. There will be days when frustration will come in, both for me and maybe my team members. It's just be open about what the experience is like. What are the frustrations? Where is it coming from? How is it impacting you? Just because you're the boss doesn't mean you have to be invincible. Doesn't mean you have to be all strong and macho and indestructible. Because very often what we find is when we have that wall, when we have that feeling that we have to be the strongest, I have to pull the weight for everyone, it usually becomes counterproductive because we just keep bringing ourselves down, and eventually we may bring the others down with us rather than helping one another stand up.
Yeah, exactly. We have some input in the chat. So we have Lirio. Lirio, yes. Joy.
Hello, Lirio. Thank you for joining.
Our tech guys will reach out to you when are you free. We also want you on the show. Use appreciative inquiry. So what Lirio is telling us is to recall positive deeds, affirm. So focus on positive, focus on shared vision. So this is also something that you can do, right? And I'm seeing this as a perfect follow-up to what we just said about acceptance and checking in with our team members, right? And there's also Raymond as well. No? Raymond, when are you also available? I'm just singling out people, who want to join us on this. Reaching out and make yourself available as an empathic listener. Nice, right? Could that possibly be something like, hi, Pao, I'm here. I'm noticing that you're having a hard time. But if you just need someone to talk to, just talk to me. But not necessarily pressuring Pao to, Hoy, okay ka lang ba? Mag-usap tayo. Diba?
Right,
not like that, right? And potentially a synergistic partner seeking new possibilities.
Right. And so there are many ways, as you can see. Lippy and I have shared our opinions. Lirio, Raymond have shared their opinions. If we were to read through what Sydney shared a while ago, actually many of those concepts will also apply to this question as well. So I think it's a matter of understanding when we can bring these ideas into play. It probably wouldn't be the best approach to just dump everything into one meeting or one conversation, because that would just
don't. Please don't.
Take small steps.
This is our request. Don't do that to your people, please.
No, and to yourself, right? Yeah. and to yourself. If I may add, one of the things that and Lippy and I include this in some of the workshops that we run. There are opportunities for us to ask each other, how can I help you? And also at the same time, this is the help that I need. So it actually opens up the conversation to having, as Raymond put it, that synergistic partnership. Mm-hmm. Because rather than bearing the load for everyone or telling everyone it's every man for himself, when you say, kaya natin.
No one says that. Who says that? Which boss says that? Every man for himself.
Let's all be strong. And I think while it may not be the intent, when people say, kaya mo yan, I think implicitly there may be that implication. Kaya mo yan, pick yourself up. And yes, yes, that is great. We all tell ourselves, yes, we should be able to pick ourselves up. But there are times when no, we're not okay. And so maybe that's when we say, this is the help that I need. What help do you need? How can I help you? And then we just sort of talk it over. So again, many ways, many different ways. I think if I were to summarize my advice, and this is me trying to shorten again everything I've said,
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's really just be human. Be human and have that personal connection with one another. I
All
think
right.
that's a start for me.
All right. Thanks, Pao.